the key race in determining the East Championship. The 32nd board is up.
There you see Fonseca. He's only got 4 riders to his right. Earlier this afternoon, Robbie Rain had to ride a preliminary qualifier because of the race he's missed here, and he started about the same place Fonseca is and got a great start. Even without a good reaction, he proved that you can do it from out there, but Fonseca's got to be perfect.
It's sideways. Travis Pastrana, Sellards, Brandis, Carpenter, Roncada. The whole group is off. The main event is underway. Evans and Pastrana, the 2 Suzukis out in front. Pastrana gets boxed out in the corner.
Well, he knew that going all the way through the whoops. Evans got up to the inside of him. And look at Brandis gets up there. Takes advantage of the move that Evans put on Pastrana.
Roncada is 6 back. Sellards 7 bites back. As we take a look at our leaders.
And Fonseca is in last. No way in the world I can see him getting up into contention here from a start like that.
Michael Brandis is impressive. Number 27 already starting to put heat on our leader.
Well, that's how you can get into riders' heads and just take them right out of their rhythm in the first lap of the race. Get by before they get a chance to get into their rhythm and force them to ride the pace you're riding.
Number 199 officially gets the Yahoo.com Whole Shot Award for the 125 main event. That's Travis Pastrana.
How about Evans, though? Just smoked by Pastrana through this whoop section right here. Look at all the ruts starting to develop. Roncada in contention right there. As long as he can see those leaders, he's dangerous. He won at this race, this stadium, the last time we visited.
Tyler Evans putting Demarini Suzuki on the map right now.
He was the fastest in the second heat of qualifying. Proven right now that that was no fluke.
Leader number 35, 45, Tyler Evans. He took second in last year's 125 shootout in Las Vegas.
This kid has definitely got a lot of talent. Look at him tripling right through there into the corner. Pretty good corner speed. These guys are really starting to struggle with ruts now. Your line has to be just right. You see a lot more mistakes on a rutted track than normal.
Last year, Evans got the Ironman honors, qualifying for both the 125 and the 250 race here in Pontiac. He had a disappointing 10th, though, in the first round. And coming up now is Travis Pastrana trying to make a move on Michael Brandis for second place.
And I thought, Sellards goes off the racetrack.
Brutal move now for Sellards to get back into the action.
That's going to be okay as long as he re-enters the course without picking up the position. He only lost, I think, 2 to Curry. And it looks like Skaggs right there in front of him. Take another look at what happened. He just gets a little bit offline. That was because he was leaning a little bit too much to his right when he hit a rut. He did a pretty good job of limiting the damage there. That could have been a lot worse.
Looked like he lost about 3 positions back to 6th after running in 3rd. A big break for Evans. Gets the Bulldog off his back for the time being anyway.
He's starting to pull away, but here comes Pastrana right behind him. He can hear the crowd.
There's Pastrana. And 27 is Michael Brandis on the FMF Honda.
Usually in the whoop start is where Pastrana makes up all of his time. He wasn't able to make up any time through there on Sellards. Look at Roncada. He just tries to, he knows that he's got to stay with Pastrana to have any shot at winning this race.
Roncada just battling it out, scraping plastic with Michael Brandis. 199 has learned a lot in his first professional season, but I think one of the big factors is patience. He's not really overreacting now like we saw him in Pontiac the last time.
Well, you know, this was round 2 the last time we were here for this division.
And he was smooth in that one.
He was smooth, but part of the reason there was because he was sick and he still had a cast on the throttle hand. So he was forced to really take it easy. And he still got a force, and he wasn't that far off the pace. I think he learned the right thing. Well, all I have to do is step it up a little bit. I'm in contention. If I need to relax a little bit, try to stay off the ground, I should be able to win this thing in my first try.
It's been a remarkable first year for him. His worst finish of the season was a 5th at Atlanta. Boy, he hits those whoops beautifully.
Starting to close the gap. He tripled right there. Oh, Evans can feel it now, and Travis has been able to catch Evans and lose Roncada in the process.
What a big turnaround this could be. We had a turnaround in the last 125 West Division. where the hot rider, Shea Bentley, overtook the points lead. Let's go down to Davey Combs.
You know, you can see something in Travis Pastrana. He spent a lot of time watching riding with Robbie Renard as he goes by Evans right there. Travis is riding, standing up a lot more, and I think riding with the veteran 250 has really helped him.
Evans trying to get back at Travis Pastrana after Pastrana has taken the lead here in the 125 main. Be smart. That comes off the board of Lee McCollum.
Whoa,
Oh, Travis gets hung up. And guess who's leading? Stefan Roncada. Roncada is very fast. Evans gets out of the mix-up first. And so Pastrana now, a slight mistake. And we've got number 26, Roncada, in the lead, looking for his third win.
Roncada, oh, Pastrana and those guys went down again off trying to get back into the mix. It was, there they get going. Pastrana and Brandis got together and went off over the berm. I was about to say that Roncada's pace wasn't quite as fast as what Pastrana had been running. So even though he had that mistake, he was still close enough to get him back before the end of this race. Now he's lost more time, and I don't see any way he can catch him.
There you see our leader, Roncada. But that gives Sellards a big break because the battle is on here on the replay after this.
And watch what happens. There goes Roncada. And watch Evans. He runs over Travis's foot. And then he kind of cuts those last three hay bales right there. I don't think they're going to give him any trouble with that. And that's the second crash. Over this way is where Brandis went off the track. Up over the berm, Travis stayed on the track and in the process saved a lot more position. He could be mid-pack right now if he'd have gone over the berm.
So Pastrana now is in a battle with Brock Sellards as we go back to our leader, Roncada, who's trying to take advantage of the mishaps.
Supercross is so fast-paced, changing all the time. It's just amazing. It looked to me like Travis was going to be able to inherit the points lead with the mistake by Sellards earlier. He was closing in. He had the lead. And one little mistake caused all these problems, and now Roncada is going to take advantage of all of it. He was only 10 points back. He could take over the lead.
So Roncada, who's looking for his third win, his sixth career victory in 125 action. He takes over the lead, and we'll be right back. Pontiac, Michigan, Tyler. Stefan Roncada is still our leader, but now Nicholas Way, in front of his friends and family here in the state of Michigan, has moved into second place.
That was a great time to make that pass and have a chance at a possible mistake by Roncada out front. We've seen how easy that can happen, especially in sand. But the better the part of the strategy there for making that move now is because Pastrana is catching both these guys at over a second a lap. So if he can get a clear of Evans and have Pastrana deal with him for a little while, maybe he won't have to fend off all that pressure.
Nick Way, number 23, had a third-place finish, the podium. He was first for 5 laps, put Fonseca down in the process last year, but came out of it on the podium. He's looking for another podium here tonight. There's Travis Pastrana.
Totally different timing out there in certain spots. It's allowing him to cut those faster laps. Look how quick he caught Tyler Evans just ahead of him there, and Way. He can still get second in this race. Roncada's pretty far out in the lead, but second is within his grasp.
It would benefit Brock Sellards to be closer to him, too, and lose only 2 points and still hold on to a slim points lead. Here's the move by Travis Pastrana. Not quite on Evans, but look at that cut. A quick break and an acceleration in the corner.
He just moved a little bit closer to Sellards in that points chase, and Way will be the next guy. That'll be 2 more points. He's doing the math right now. I don't think that Travis is ever going to stop pushing until he sees the checkered flag. He still thinks he can catch Roncada, probably.
No matter what he does, he makes a race exciting. There's Nicholas Way. Travis Pastrana's right behind him. That's Brian Stone, the lap rider, number 90. They both get by him cleanly. Way in second place. Pastrana showing him a wheel to the inside and pulling back. They come out of that sand. Boy, that sand adds a new dimension to a supercross track. On the outside, Pastrana, the lapper on the inside. Number 27 is Brandis. Pastrana Slices inside. Brandis and takes over second place. What a move.
Is this kid good or what? Just jumps the triple in traffic, lappers to make the pass, stands up into the corner, feet on the peg, two-wheel drift, looks over away like, yeah, I'll give you a little room if you need it. Look at that. That got busy.
That's gutsy, not just skill.
Hey, it takes a lot of nerve to go for it right there. This 125's having a heck of a time trying to get up the speed to clear that triple, but he does it and moves closer to Roncada. He is not that far behind.
Travis Pastrana, number 199. Pure excitement on the track as he weeds through the lap riders. Roncada, Pastrana, and Way the order.
Now he's got a clear track, and he's going to be able to take some of the lines that he's capable of to go so fast. Look at that. Triples that, leading into the big triple, which makes it a heck of a lot easier. He's got two riders now between himself and Sellards.
Sellards now in fourth. He's looking to catch Nick Way before he can get to Travis Pastrana and then Roncada. A difficult position for Roncada, trying to stay out in front and still get great lap times and not get the pressure, but feel the pressure as the crowd reacts to Pastrana. And here is Roncada, number 26.
Now he's going fast enough, as long as he doesn't make a major mistake. The laps remaining to be able to hold off Pastrana for the win. But he's got to do everything right. He can't afford a mistake.
Time is running out for Pastrana if he wants to win this race. Here's Roncada on the track interval, trying to hold on. Can Stefan Roncada take the victory here in Pontiac, Michigan? We'll be right back and find out. More EA Sports Supercross, number 26, Yamaha of Troy's Stefan Roncada is the leader. He's trying for his second win in a row here at Pontiac. He led all 15 laps the last time. He was injured last year, did not race here, but he got his very first American Supercross victory here in Pontiac, and that was back in 1997.
Look at that, still riding smooth. He's jumping over that triple as well. One spot where Travis was able to make up time on everyone else, but not on Stefan.
Boy, do you think Eric Kehoe, the team manager in the next booth next to us, is just a little bit nervous? His eyes are almost popping out of his head now as Stefan Roncada is trying to get around that right lapped rider.
He doesn't lose much time. He's still able to do the timing he needs through that section right there. And Sellards able to pick up a position into third. That's going to be a podium for him if he can hold on to it.
Well, he really needs to step it up another notch.
To get by Way, I mean.
Yes. The white flag is out for our leader, Stefan Roncada. Just a lap away. Some 55 seconds away from a possible victory.
And that shows right there what can happen. A lap rider going down right in front of Stefan. Able to work his way around.
There might have been a day that he'd run into that lap rider. We've seen him do it in previous years, but lots of experience helped out in that move. Number 26.
He's feeling good now. He looked great in practice. If I had to put my money on somebody, I would have put it on him. You can never count Travis out, as aggressive as he is, but Stefan looks so good.
Brock Sellards knows how important that battle for third is. Number 18 on the red bike, the Honda, pursuing number 23, Nick Way. Way certainly doesn't want to give up that podium spot.
This could be the championship. He needs those 2 points desperately.
The next time around, Stefan Roncada will be looking at the checkers. And there it is. Stefan Roncada has won his third race of the 125 East season. He's back in the title chase. Brock Sellards trying to battle Nick Way. But Nick Way holds on for the podium spot. So Travis Pastrana will pick up 2 more points in that points battle for the championship. So Roncada now with his third win of the season. It will be win number 6 in the 125 ranks for the anxious young Frenchman.
Yeah. Just amazing. Travis works his way into the lead, falls down, goes down again. Roncada just rode right through all the wreckage, played it smart. He had his problems earlier today, but with bad starts, but he shined in the main event when it counted.
These 125 battles have been terrific this year. Both coming right down to the wire. The first two-time winner in the 125s becomes the first three-time winner on our Suzuki EA Sports Supercross results page. Travis Pastrana letting this one get away, but Sellards in fourth. It keeps that points race really close. Hometown hero Nick Way on the podium. Tyler Evans rounding out that top five as we take a look at the entire field. Let's go back to Davey.
Stephen, way to go, man. This is your building this year. 2 in a row at Pontiac. You got your team boss, Bill Alderton, down here. You got to be stoked.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very stoked, you know, and I just heard that Brock Sellard finished like 4th or 5th, so I grabbed a couple more points on him. So it's good for the championship, you know. I took some points away tonight, so it's great.
What do you think in the middle of the race? You were moving up. You saw Pastrana and Evans go down right in front of you. Right there was the lead.
Yeah, you know, there was a very good battle going on between Pastrana and Tyler Evans, and it's too bad those two crashed, you know, but I guess they were onto each other a lot, so it's the race, and it's great for me, like I said, and I had a good race. I was watching Pastrana, I was going pretty fast, but I was considering the race. I wanted to win really bad tonight here, take some points away, so that's what I did, and I'm very happy about it.
Hey, you know, you did just that. You threw it into a three-ray race as your teammate Ernesto Fonseca comes up. Stephen, between you, Brock Sellards, and Travis Pastrana, this one's going right down to the wire.
Yeah, you know, I think the championship this year is great. There's a lot of good riders that can win. The level is really fast, so we have great races, you know. And I think it's going to be really tight for the championship between Travis and Brock and I. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully I win it. And I'd like to thank all my sponsors, you know, Phil Laton, Yamaha Troy, Enrico, Dunlop, Oakley, Fox, and Mark Peters, my track design, Alan Gerke with All Pro MX Fitness, my trainer, and everybody here that helps me out a lot for the championship. Thank you. Thanks, David.
Stefan Roncada's win gives him 125 points. That's only 3 behind Brock Sellards. Roncada moving into second place. Pastrana only 4 in back of the leader, Brock Sellards. Nick Way holding in fourth place.
What a great shot, be able to throw that bike sideways, the flames going off over the finish line jump, moving into second. What a night for Stefan. He loves this stadium.
While we are away, the last chance qualifier took place on the Suzuki results page. John Sebastian Waugh continues to be the only privateer to make every main event, winning the LCQ. Jason Thomas getting that final spot. The riders now completing the parade lap. Let's take a look at the Suzuki starting lineup. This is how they qualified. Kevin Windham's time in beating Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael gave him the first choice of gate. Phillip and McGrath, the Yamaha riders are right there. Robbie Raynard hoping to convert the good qualifying times over to the main event. David, what about those gate positions now as we see Johnny O'Mara talking with RC?
No, Robbie Raynard right there, number 17, all the way to the inside. They get their pick. Then Carmichael, Phillip, Kevin Windham and Tortelli next to each other. Tortelli, had he not gone down in his heat race, may have won that. So he has definitely got the pace. Look at the focus and the intensity in the eyes of McGrath. He's focused. Every time he gets beaten in a race, he comes back with fire. There's LaRocco. He's to the outside of McGrath.
Does it surprise you that McGrath picked so far away from the inside on this start?
Yeah, it does. But you know what? He's got a lot of confidence to be able to go out that far. Davey, what's it look like from your angle?
I'm surprised he picked that far outside, too. If he's not careful and doesn't get a good jump, he might end up in the visitors' bench down here on the Lions' home field.
The board is sideways. They're revving up. The 250 of Pontiac number 2 is about set to get underway. McGrath with a great start. And Kevin Windham, after I believe McGrath took the Yahoo.com hole shot, moves into first place.
Well, McGrath had a lot of confidence. As soon as he got out of that gate, he got a great jump, practiced a million starts yesterday, and just leaned in on everybody to the inside, but still, he's chasing Kevin Windham. He did that in the heat race and couldn't make the move. Here they got a lot more laps to deal with.
Boy, it'll be interesting now to see as we take another look at the start. Jeremy McGrath, a terrific jump at the gate, but so number 14 as well on the inside.
Well, McGrath just leans right in, but he had to carry so much speed to stay out in front. He had to drift wide. Kevin got a little hop off that jump. Gassed it down to the backside, had a great run to the whoop, took the lead.
So another hole shot for Jeremy McGrath. They have been few and far between actually this season for Jeremy. But Jeremy now on the chase as Kevin Windham and Jeremy McGrath start to pull away from Ricky Carmichael and Larry Ward.
And look at this. Windham has opened up a little bit of a lead on McGrath right here. Windham has got this track dialed in, and it's just making Jeremy ride the race of this year to try to stay with him. Carmichael still in third, just like it was in the heat race, but way back. Only one lap in the book. He's already about 3 seconds back. He's got LaRocco right on his tail, then Willemin. So LaRocco's got a much better start than usual, but still, he can't even see the leaders.
Jeremy McGrath trying to chase down Kevin Windham. Windham with a 5th place finish in the first race here at Pontiac this season, as this is the first time in many years that we've had a doubleheader, 2 races in one season in the same venue here.
Now look at those guys jumping all the way over that triple right there. McGrath didn't do it that time. If you don't get a great run out of the corner and get lined up in one of those ruts that we just saw on that other huge mountain, you can't do it. But still, that lap, even without tripling before the finish, Jeremy closed the gap slightly, and he gets a clap from Larry Brooks, the team manager.
McGrath moving to within a second on our leader, number 14.
I think back to the Houston round last year where same thing. Windham out front, Jeremy chasing, and eventually wearing him down. But Kevin seems pretty strong-minded out here tonight.
The battle for 4th is on with Mike LaRocco and David Willemin. LaRocco on the Amsoil Honda, number 5 in front of David Willemin.
Look at how LaRocco jumps over the ruts right there. A little bit of different timing. Willemin, different timing from both the guys in front of him.
Here we go. Jeremy McGrath now putting the heat, heavy heat on Kevin Windham. Oh, he makes a nice move without touching plastic.
Well, that was a line that I don't think Kevin could have expected. That was very creative by Jeremy McGrath and very aggressive, sending the message to Kevin Windham that he is out there and means business, and he'll get in there and take whatever line necessary to make that pass. Watch Jeremy. It actually looks like a mistake right there, but he sets himself to the outside, lets Kevin pass, turns on a dime, cuts all the way across. Kevin's going, where did that come from?
Kevin Windham in 2nd place. He had 2 seconds in a row here in Pontiac in 1997 and 98. But I'm sure he would love to stay close with Jeremy McGrath.
Actually, Kevin might be enjoying being in 2nd, not having all that pressure right now, as long as he can stay with him. But look at this.
Yes, Mike LaRocco and Ricky Carmichael side by side. Carmichael going wide, and LaRocco takes the inside route. Here comes David Willemin also attacking Ricky Carmichael. This is such a busy track.
There's so many different options out there as well. LaRocco right there trying to go for that triple. I never saw him do it in the heat race. Jumps it right there, comes up a little short. There's nothing worse than, makes you more nervous than having to jump something you never jumped before in the main event. Take that chance.
So Mike LaRocco in 3rd behind Kevin Windham and Jeremy McGrath, and here comes Willemin. Willemin really on the move, cuts in front of Ricky Carmichael, and it's Willemin moving up a spot.
Ricky just a little bit off the pace tonight. I think that crash last week really interrupted his flow that he had going. He was really on a roll. Podium finishes, the win at Daytona. That crash last week just took it all out of him.
Kevin Windham has not resigned himself to 2nd place at all, David.
Now, he is still staying in contention. You know, when we had Pastrana up here joining us for last week's show and McGrath made a pass on him, he said, you know, Kevin may have done that on purpose because he didn't want to have to deal with all that pressure. And in my opinion, it was a little bit late in the race for that. But here, there's plenty of time. And now, Kevin can apply the pressure on McGrath.
Willemin on the inside of Mike LaRocco. LaRocco just won't have it. The Amsoil factory connection Honda barely holding on to 3rd. In the whoops, Willemin is so good. Willemin, a good black pass. But look at the speed that LaRocco got out of that corner.
Yeah, that's like trying to move a brick wall. And with all that messing around, look at Carmichael's back in the mix.
Oh, what a great battle for 3rd. A 3-way battle, LaRocco, Willemin, and Carmichael.
Carmichael rides with a lot of emotion. If he recognizes that he's not going fast enough, but he wants to be in this mix, he'll just wick it up and take the chances. And right now, that's what he has to do because Tortelli's catching him.
LaRocco's been on the podium 5 times. He's looking to make it number 6. Willemin and Ricky Carmichael. Carmichael getting back in the picture against the Team Yamaha rider. Look at this. Team Kawasaki versus Team Yamaha. Willemin looks back at Ricky Carmichael, RC. Just can't quite make the move. Can't pull the trigger on Willemin.
Keeping him honest. These guys are pushing each other so hard.
Let's go trackside to Davey.
Keep an eye on Windham if he gets close to LaRocco again. He told me before the race that he didn't think LaRocco liked him one bit. I said, why? And he said, well, in practice last week in Minneapolis, I accidentally ran into him, and he gave me that look like he was going to hit me.
He just might, and he'll want to do it a little later in the race so that LaRocco won't have time to retaliate.
Yeah, I don't think that was paranoia. LaRocco is not shy when he wants to move up a spot. Jeremy McGrath and Kevin Windham battle it out. Will Jeremy McGrath be able to hold off the Team Yamaha rider who was looking for his first win of the year? Jeremy McGrath holds onto the lead. We'll be back. Toyota Trucks presents EA Sports Supercross from Pontiac. It's continuing to be a fierce battle as Jeremy McGrath cannot afford a mistake the way Kevin Windham is riding behind him.
You know, right now, Kevin's just out there just waiting for the laps to wind down, waiting for the place to make his moves, studying everything McGrath's doing. Later in the race, lapped riders will be able to perhaps work to the advantage of Kevin because he'll be able to see the whole situation where Jeremy's going to have to commit. So I don't think Kevin, with the nerves that he's talked about that have kept him from riding his best, are a problem right now. He can stay with McGrath right here, apparently with apparent ease.
Last time here in Pontiac, he crashed to 14th and came back to 5th.
That's right. So, and as a matter of fact, that was the first race in about 4 or 5 where he did actually make progress towards the end of the race. Even though the finish wasn't impressive, at least he was passing riders and riding fast towards the end. Watch when they come out of this corner and triple up over this mountain. It's just phenomenal. They're jumping through the ruts all the way up over that, landing into more ruts. The technical skill of these guys just off the scale.
Jeremy McGrath so far has not made that crucial mistake. And even Jeremy is human. We've seen that happen from time to time, but not very often.
Well, whenever I see this, I think back to Tampa when Jeremy had the lead and Kevin just stayed back there and wore on him, finally made the move. Jeremy can be beat. Kevin knows it. He's just got to stay close. If he makes a mistake and loses contact, that's what Jeremy's hoping for, then he just has no chance.
One thing about Jeremy McGrath's domination of the past is he's been able to get a lead in that first 8 laps and not be pressured after that. This is not the case here in Pontiac.
No, we're approaching lap 10, the halfway point, and Kevin is very much in this battle, forcing Jeremy to worry about what line he's taking. Jeremy just shifted his line there because that's where Kevin was going. He's got to stay in contact, though. Jeremy's patient. He knows that you just can't pull away from a guy like Kevin Windham. He has to be patient, knowing he can just inch away, and he just did there a moment ago. If Kevin can close that gap, we got a race.
Hey, he said Pontiac, they're not going up into the stands. A lot of the riders said the same thing. It doesn't feel like Pontiac because in recent years, of course, we've had the turnstile up and around into the stands here at Pontiac at the Silver Dome. But with 2 rounds here this year, they've changed the construction of the track, the over-under, the sand whoops. And Jeremy McGrath now is starting to build a lead on Kevin Windham.
It's that patience I was talking about. Kevin was trying to keep the pressure on, and it was working, but I talked about it. He couldn't afford a mistake. He made a couple, lapped riders, made a bad decision. Jeremy opened up the gap, and that's just widening out even more now. Jeremy knows that he's not going to make a mistake. He was just banking on Kevin getting tired, making some, and he just made another one right there. Jeremy stretched it out even more.
Now, the big one was a mistake on the triple two for Kevin Windham, and it gave McGrath some breathing room where he had only about 0.2 of a second per lap on Kevin Windham. Now he's starting to stretch it out, and the brilliance of the 6-time champion and defending champ of 250 Supercross is starting to shine right now.
And if Kevin is starting to fade slightly, he cannot afford to fade much more because LaRocco's back there, Windham is back there. Those guys get stronger in the last 5 laps.
Jeremy McGrath, another stellar year for this man. 7 wins with 5 races left. Well, less than that now, of course. But a remarkable 10 podiums. 4th place was Jeremy's worst finish this year.
Look at the airtime those guys get, and good thing. Look at those ruts they're jumping over. Jeremy and a lot of these guys, the guys with that great finesse, guys like Kevin, they try to time, as soon as these ruts get into the face of some of these jumps, they try to change their timing and jump over those.
Jeremy's had his ups and downs here in Pontiac. 1997, he was leading the race and crashed. And then, of course, the famous triple clamp that broke in 98. And that was his first and only DNF in his Supercross history. So anything could still happen to Jeremy McGrath despite the confident move he shows us right here.
Kevin actually stayed even that last lap, if not picked up about 0.2 of a second. And they've got a clear track here for a while and don't have to deal with any lappers. So
David Villeman in 4th place behind LaRocco and Windham. And he'll lose some ground in the points race if he can't pick it up as he looks at the lapper Heath Voss. Back to our number 1. He's had his share of wins here, that's for sure.
Guarantee if McGrath was here. You could tell in McGrath's post-race interview last week that he already was just irritated. It didn't really come off well. It sounded like excuses, but he's not very used to losing. And I admire a guy that hates to lose to the point where you can sense it in his interview. But I guarantee he worked out hard, put in a lot of laps, and he's proven right now that he did his homework.
Well, on the upside, Jeremy, of course, led every lap here earlier in February for the win. In fact, it was his last hole shot before tonight.
Reaches over and tightens that clutch up a little bit. That's what he does. It started to get a little bit of play as that clutch heats up. He reaches over and turns that little dial that they've made that you can reach in the air and takes the play back out.
Last year he won leading 20 laps, but the one I really respected was 94 when he went to the LCQ. And for the first time that I can remember, won a main event after winning a last chance qualifier. So can Jeremy McGrath continue to be flawless here in Pontiac number 2? We'll find out when we return. Is our leader in Pontiac number 2, but Kevin Windham and Mike LaRocco are starting to get closer together. Kevin Windham in 2nd. LaRocco wants his 2nd consecutive 2nd place. Anything messes up too, David Villeman and Ricky Carmichael are the next in the order here on this terrific track.
It looks to me like what LaRocco is famous for, and that is getting stronger at the end, is coming into play here again. And Kevin worked so hard, taking its toll now.
Look at that, Mike LaRocco. Kevin Windham trying to box him out, but he slips it. And Mike LaRocco moves into 2nd place now.
Well, it'd be such a bonus, even though Kevin has lost that lead, lost the time to McGrath. If he can hang on to the podium right now and just improve his performance one more position over last week, know that he led the race a while, pushed McGrath, be a big boost. But he's got Villeman back there.
With some 4 laps remaining in our main event, our 250 main event here in Pontiac, it's still not clear whether Villeman can't pick up some action. Look at Villeman. Let's go down to Davey Coombs trackside.
You know, watching that pass, we saw Mike LaRocco come up on Windham. I got to ask you guys, with the absence of people like Ezra Lusk and Jeff Emig, have these 250 guys lost the ability to go in and make contact? David, I don't know how about you, but I remember watching you guys. You guys were fierce, and today it looks like, I don't know, people are afraid to hit each other.
It does a little bit. It looks like they don't want to start anything, start any bad karma. You know, if you hit somebody, they're going to come back and hit you, and you never know really when that's going to happen.
Mike LaRocco now is pulling within 4 seconds of Jeremy McGrath. Now, does he have enough laps left to catch him at that speed?
Well, McGrath,
I don't think he does.
Could have put it into cruise control a little bit. He's done that before, and I guarantee you that he's going to get that signal when he comes to the mechanics area after Phoenix. That'll never happen again. It's going to be a big neon board with flashing lights.
The surprise race in which Villeman caught up and passed Jeremy McGrath, and Jeremy said, I did not know he was there. Here's the battle for 3rd. Villeman still trying to get in front of number 14, Kevin Windham.
These guys have stayed close. I was actually nervous at the start of this race. I'm not even down there, but I just had a feeling all these guys were on a track.
Look at the ruts.
Riding so close that this would be a close race.
Villeman cuts now in front of Kevin Windham.
And that was something they were able to triple earlier, and they would have tripled that even though that he cut that corner so tight a little earlier in this race, but the ruts have gotten so deep. In one lap, you can lose a couple of seconds just from a few mistakes. Jeremy's still up over the big obstacles. See if he jumps this one still. I can't even believe how good and how well these guys ride and what they're able to jump over, and lap after lap in ruts and traffic with pressure, everything riding on it. it's just amazing. If you stand there on the floor and look how high Jeremy is getting out of a corner with about a 20-foot run, if that, to jump up over a jump 45 feet away.
If you come early to those races left in New Orleans and Texas Stadium and Las Vegas and so forth, go down as close to the track as you possibly can and just see how high these dirt mounds get. It's scary for the normal person just to look at it. But for these guys, with 2 laps to go, Jeremy McGrath is breezing.
He's got LaRocco closing. He knows it.
LaRocco still 4 seconds in back of McGrath with 2 laps to go.
This is the first time I've seen McGrath go to that inside. He changed his line. LaRocco's been taking that line the whole time. So that advantage that McGrath usually gets up over that big jump, he's not going to get this time. LaRocco should be able to close that gap a little bit more.
Anticipating more excitement now. This is the final lap, the white flag lap. Mike LaRocco will go all out to try to catch the leader, Jeremy McGrath. You can see him at the end of that whoop section as we go back to Jeremy on the triple.
He got a little squirrely the last time through in the sand. But Jeremy's pretty solid. He's able to acknowledge the fans. He's obviously feeling pretty comfortable about it. Everything's got to be just right. LaRocco has ridden a fantastic race and come through the pack the way he did. It was a pretty good start, but he still had to get past these guys and into second. Put the pressure on Jeremy.
Yeah, I was going to say on a tight track too, David.
He just figures out a way. The guy, he can just mail in second. He is so strong.
McGrath looking at the checkers. The flashbulbs pop, and Jeremy McGrath wins his 8th race of the year 2000 in Supercross. And Kevin Windham holds on to 3rd over David Velleman. That's quite an accomplishment, David.
Well, a couple things happen right there. That helps McGrath. You can see the relief right there. He's going, whoo. After last week, it was starting to get tight. He's sweating. He's stretched it back out right now, and Kevin Windham just helped him put 2 more points on Velleman.
2 very valuable points. Bob Oliver of Team Yamaha coming over to give him a high five. Yamaha now with 11 wins. 12 wins on this season, ties the all-time record of 12 set back in 19. Yamaha getting 12 wins on that season. Mike LaRocco, a well-deserved 2nd place. Paul Deloria, his mechanic on the left side. Drew Shane. Sebastian Tortelli's mechanic on the other side of him.
The difference in LaRocco's face, shaking his head a little bit, just going, yeah, I know it was a good ride. I'm sick of hearing that. I want to win. Look at him.
So Mike LaRocco with a 2nd place finish. We're anxious to hear from our winner, Jeremy McGrath, when we return to the Silver Dome in Pontiac.